I think that from here on out, you're not going to see an undefeated national champion.
Are you actually asking me that?
I'm
I wasn't
actually
paying
asking
attention.
you.
I don't think that he's going to get them the Kurt Signetti experience.
And now we should start talking about some viewer comments.
We should.
One of the things I have to stress, and I feel like now we have to say this before every segment, although I didn't over the last segment, but we just talk about football. We're not journalists and we're not experts. We just like to talk about football. So we don't actually know like everything that's going on at all times. So for
Or
those of you
anything.
who very much like to get into the comments and call us names and say we don't do research, all I can say is you're right, we don't. So move on. The other thing I wanted to say, and I'm actually halfway serious about this. So last week I said, if you have questions that you want us to look into, drop them in the comments and we'll get into them. I'm going to do it this way instead because we'll probably get more interaction this way. Anything that you think that we need to research more, put it in the comments and give us all of the information, and then we'll have something to talk about. All right? Thank you.
Go.
Appreciate it.
That'd be great.
Speaking of comments, so Trevor Thompson 330 said this guy has a Wolverine banner in the background. LOL, this is embarrassing and stupid. I agree. This comment is embarrassing and stupid. What? But here's the thing: if you're a Michigan State fan, so Michigan State fans are like, okay, you didn't go to Michigan, so you can't be a fan of Michigan. So now I'm not a Michigan State fan, so I can't even talk about Michigan State. What is it with you people?
There's a certain F word for this. It's a very strong F word. I don't use it lightly. I don't. And that F word is this F word. And? Fascist. Because here's the thing. You have to be a Michigan State fan to talk about Michigan State with this guy. That means that you're not a part of the in-group, which means you're not a part of the specials. He's a fascist, and that's a bad thing from what I understand of history.
Let's go to a real comment. Okay, so this comes from Ashwin Reba Pragada, longtime watcher of this show. Love having you here, Ashwin. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the comment. This was from the Pat Fitzgerald segment of our last podcast. And he says, Pat Fitzgerald certainly knows the Big Ten landscape and has experience as a former college athlete and head coach. But Michigan State has to compete against teams like Michigan, Ohio State, Indiana, Penn State. Although Penn State's a little iffy right now, USC, Oregon, etc. Fitzgerald is a solid hire, but he faces an uphill battle and must compete against fierce rivals. Mac, what do you think? Does he have a chance?
Well, here's the thing. So did Indiana, though. I mean, Indiana is on that list, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So, because at one point we were saying, like, Indiana, like in the age of NIL, there's no way Indiana does anything. Turns out they have a really good NIL program, but that's not even what did it. What did it was their coach.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you get the right coach in there with the right players. It doesn't matter what your name is. You can get to the playoffs. You can win the playoffs. I mean, I was never expecting to see the day Indiana won a national title. I mean, I thought I'd be long dead. I thought college football would be illegal before Indiana won a national title. That being said, is Fitzgerald the guy for Michigan State? Is he he's not a Kurt Signetti. All right. And I hate to say that because I like Pat Fitzgerald. I'm actually kind of disappointed he's going to Michigan State because I like him so much. And, I do want the rivalry with Michigan to get back to a point where it's, it's competitive and the game means something. It always means something. It's a tough game. We call him our little brother, but when the chips are down, they are the brother, little or otherwise, they're the brother. And it's fun to see them have fun playing football. I don't care, whatever. Point is that Pat Fitzgerald is a good coach. And I think that he is actually a solid hire for Michigan State. I don't think that he's going to get them the Kurt Signetti experience. I don't think that he's going to do even as well as Sharon Moore did at Michigan this season, particularly just this one. the 9-3 one where he wasn't actually really doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was doing something, but not the thing that he should be doing. So because Michigan State's administration there is still kind of hot garbage right now, I think that's really going to hamstring what Pat Fitzgerald can do with the program. But make no mistake, if you want a Big Ten coach, a guy who knows tough, hard-nosed football, who can actually scheme and is a good guy, like Pat Fitzgerald's the guy. So it'll be an interesting experiment for sure. But I just think that Michigan State's administration is too much of a mess right now.
Yeah, Michigan State's got the same battle really that Michigan has, and we're hoping Kyle Whittingham can fix that one.
Yeah.
So our next comment comes from our new friend, Chuck. It's all
Cribs.
I thought it was Scribs for a second. Chuck Cribs. So
Mm-hmm.
Chuck has commented the last 2 or 3 videos, and we've got this thread going on Indiana. He is an Indiana grad, by the way. So he's fanboying. But he also makes a lot of sense, and we agree with him because he doesn't like Ohio State either. So there's that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so he can stay.
He can stay. Yeah. Here's his comment. Here's the scenario. Ryan Day is crossing the field to shake hands with Curt Cignetti after losing to him in the Big Ten Conference Championship game. Top 5 things Day said to himself. Number 1, I just lost to Indiana. Number 2, I just lost to a team where we didn't score for the last 40 minutes of the game. Number 3, I just lost to a team with far less talent. Number 4,
Ooh.
I may never beat Indiana again while Cignetti is there. Number 5, I might end up losing my job because of Curt Cignetti. And bonus number 6, I have to play Indiana at Bloomington next year and will probably lose. Thoughts?
Man, this is incredible. I love this timeline. This is awesome. I mean, it's just great. The fact that, I mean, okay, like, yeah, what does happen to Ryan Day at this point if he starts losing to Indiana consistently? And if Kyle Whittingham, okay,
imagine next year if he loses to Indiana and Michigan in the same season.
Is he done at that point? How do you fire a national championship winning coach? How do you do that? But LSU did it with Ed Orgeron. He won them a national championship, and then he was gone like 2 years later.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibility. But here's the thing. I mean, Ryan Day is vulnerable. I mean, he's a good coach. He's a very good coach. And I think he does kind of have sort of the benefit with Ohio State where their brand is able to pull in some of the best players. And good for them. They're able to do that. That's great. Ryan Day's tactics. He, as a tactician, he has strategies that are very vulnerable to specific other strategies. For instance, Jim Harbaugh was able to basically out-tough him. I mean, that's basically what happened. Michigan ran the ball down Ohio State's throats. Michigan had a balanced offensive attack against Ohio State. And then defensively, they were just able to get pressure on the quarterback and force him to make mistakes in short field situations. That's a gross under analysis. That's not a word of what actually happened, but you get the point. Ryan Day is vulnerable in that respect. And especially because I've said this once, I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. He's not good at putting together offensive lines. His offensive lines are good until they go up against equal defensive lines of equal talent or better. They fall apart. And you saw that in the Big Ten title game where Indiana doubled Ohio State's sack total in one game. Mm-hmm. So sacks allowed, I should say. So yeah, I mean, Ryan Day is absolutely vulnerable here. And if that means that Curt Cignetti steps in and then Kyle Whittingham is also a really good tactician. Thank you. Oregon's going to stay really good with Dan Lanning. USC, I don't know. I just don't know about USC. And now you've got Matt Campbell at Penn State.
Yeah.
That's a good hire. That is a good hire. I don't know how it's going to work out, but it is a good hire. So that'll be interesting. And so he's got to go up against all of these different coaches now. Does Ryan Day start suffering multiple losses per season? And does that mean he gets fired in the near future? I don't know. That's going to be intriguing.
But see, now I've got this theory too that I think that from here on out, you're not going to see an undefeated national champion.
You did this year.
But I think this is probably the last year that's going to happen, because now I think more teams are ready for it. I just think that we're getting more and more of a level playing field, which means we're going to see wins and losses much more akin to NFL wins and losses. Obviously not as many games, although what is there, 17 games in the regular season for the NFL? So we're 12 in the regular season. And I understand that this year, I believe the conference championships will determine who goes to the playoffs. So the conference championship winner is an automatic bid, which, means you're going to see some teams that are basically a 16 seed, basketball 16 seed in the playoffs, and they're going to get slaughtered, but they're conference champions, so they're going to get there. And now that that's a possibility, now that you can be, you don't even have to be in the top 25 and you're going to get to the playoffs. I really feel that you're going to start seeing the national champion. We're not going to see a national championship undefeated anymore. That's what I'm thinking.
Are you sure that's how that works?
Yeah,
you don't have to be ranked.
No, the conference champion automatically gets a bid now.
So like Western Michigan this season won the MAC. They would have been in the playoffs?
Yep. That's my understanding. I maybe I'm wrong, and I'm sure many viewers will correct me, but
everyone in the comment section, if he is wrong, feel free to call him an ass many times.
Okay, calm down, will you?
I'm just saying you deserve it.
It's a family
show. You deserve
it.
That's family a PG show. Term. I've heard
PG
that
in this
in Pixar movies.
What? No, they don't. Anyway, No, I'm almost certain that's what I read. That was the change. They're not going to the 16-team playoff, but they are going to change it up along with the scheduling. So, now the scheduling is there's round 1, and then 2 weeks later is round 2, 2 weeks after that. So we're going to be playing college football almost as long as the NFL.
They're doing that now?
Yeah.
Because it was 1 week.
Yeah, now it's going to be 2 weeks. Where did I put that schedule? Okay, so the schedule this year, first round is 4 games on campus site. Quarterfinals are December 30th and January 1st. And then the semifinals are January 14th and 15th. So that's 2 weeks later. And then the national championship is January 25th. That's 2 weeks later. So,
all right, well,
we're going late.
We're
going late.
Yeah. That's wild. That's
why I honestly don't think we're going to be seeing undefeated champions anymore.
12 teams based on final. This says 12 teams based on the final rankings by the CFP selection committee. It will continue. Oh, this is for 2026-27. So maybe that new one isn't starting until 28 or something.
Okay, maybe that's true. But I'm nearly positive I saw that the conference champions are going to get the bids.
Huh.
Oh man, either that or somebody was talking about it, and now I'm like, no, that's what happened. At any rate,
we just spent like 4 minutes talking about this thing that could be very well not true at all.
Oh, anyway, there's your fodder for the comments, people. Thank you, Chuck, for watching. Appreciate it. Our last comment for the evening comes from Mr. AJ Founder, who also calls us silly and ridiculous. Shaking my head. Fowler Nicolosi was literally benched at CSU as a senior after his head coach was fired. So, okay, now I got to back up. So this comes from the Signetti 2.0 clip where we were talking about Bryce's backups and could Bryce get benched for the backup? And the name that we started to talk about was Nicolosi, not Colin Hurley. We didn't say that Colin Hurley wasn't a quarterback. We were just talking about Nicolosi. So at any rate, The guy was horrid, so I don't think Bryce has to worry about him. The QB Bryce has to worry about is Colin Hurley, the 4-star QB from LSU. The kid was killing it his freshman year before he got hurt. Are you guys serious? Yes. Please do better research. No.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, we are serious. And yes, you can shove a stick up your butt. No, we're not going to do better research. Sorry.
No.
No, it's not going to. Also, no, the guy wasn't horrid at Colorado State because he actually had similar numbers to Bryce Underwood. So if he was horrid, then so was Bryce. All right. And there's a discrepancy for sure between the two players, but like, no. All right. And maybe he does have to worry about Colin Hurley. I don't know. I've seen some things that said Colin Hurley hasn't taken a snap in college football just yet. In a college football game. I've seen others that say he was, this one saying he was killing it before he got hurt. I don't know what his deal was. And honestly, as soon as I heard about the car accident and stuff like that, I just kind of stopped researching, not because the car accident has me worried about his performance, because that was a while ago, but just because that sucks for him. And it's just kind of cool that he's even on a roster at this point, was able to come back from that. That's amazing. I don't care. All right. This doesn't matter. Shut up. Move on with your life. And no, we won't do better research. Just no.
What's the point?
What is the point? I don't know.
And that does it for our viewer comments for the evening. Please like, subscribe to the only channel.
That's not the only. It's one channel where that one Ohio State guy said this guy's an effing idiot. Move past that. I said it once. It was funny the first time.